There are a couple dead people here that I am concerned about. The first one is an extremely angry elderly male. For whatever reason, his favorite location in the house is the back bedroom to the left.
Now, the bedroom you're talking about is Lenora's bedroom, and that's where she sleeps with Easton.
Interesting. One of the things that really stood out about him was his distaste for children. He referred to them as pests, and he takes a lot of pleasure in torturing kids.
Tell her how Easton got shoved and wakes up with the bruises.
I have pictures of bruises from his rib cage down that wasn't there the day before, and then I watched him walk, and it looked like somebody shoved him really hard from the back.
Okay, interesting. Some of the other things I saw him doing to the living was him like stomping on the floors and making as much noise as possible. When he's really upset, he'll throw things.
Describe what happened with the flashlight to Amy.
It was a square flashlight. It was sitting on a table, and it flew off of the table.
Was anybody else in the room at the time?
My son was asleep.
Which son?
William.
Interesting. I felt like the living would be able to see him because he wants you to. So he would go in the hallway, and he would stand at the end of the hall and wait for somebody to come out of their room.
Both of you guys have seen dark figures in the hallway.
Yes.
I was standing in the bathroom facing the mirror, and I had just caught out of the corner of my eye. It was a tall, dark shadow figure moving very fast.
Now, you see it a lot from your bedroom.
I do. Yeah, it's very scary.
Also, I saw him really screwing around a lot with the television, like flipping through channels, stations changing, the TV turning on and off by itself.
Tell her what happens to your TV in your room.
It will come on and off.
He has really put his energy in that room. It's dead energy. It would make you feel exhausted, make you sick and nauseous.
It'll just hit me all of a sudden, come out of nowhere, and just hit me pretty hard.
And what that does to a living person absorbing dead energy is it's gonna start slowly killing you. When I was in the middle bedroom, he basically told me that he has declared war on the person in that room.
Yeah, that's Will's room.
We all know that room's the bad room.
He absolutely just can't stand him. He specifically said, I have hated him since he first came here. I saw him flicking his ear, smacking him in the head. I saw him try to give this living person nightmares. Basically him just being relentless. To make things worse, the living person has abilities. And he is a medium of some sort, but it makes him much more vulnerable to these attacks. If he's exposed to this for a long period of time, he can develop PTSD, anxiety issues, depression issues, all of these kinds of things. And what the old man really wants to do is just get him out of here.
He said that he had saw a face, like he wasn't exactly completely asleep, and he felt something was there, so he had opened his eyes and saw a face.
Okay, interesting.
It's very scary just to think that this guy hates him that bad.
Any idea who this guy was when he was alive?
What I got was that he possibly owned this place, that he lived here. I got the impression that he had a really hard life. There were two ages that I got him at. When he was elderly, he was frail and thin. And then I saw him in the back bedroom, and he looked a lot healthier. I would say he was in his 50s. I got that when he was healthier was in the 80s, the 1980s. And I felt like he died in the house from either cancer or kidney issues or both.
I got a pretty good idea of who the guy is that you saw. Now, the previous owners of your house were a couple named Kenneth and Patricia Goodycoons. They bought this place back in 1964 and lived here for over 50 years. You said this guy hates kids. I can't say for sure that this guy, Kenneth, didn't like kids, but they didn't have any. You said he had a hard life. Now, he had a pretty tough time here. While living in this house, he lost both his parents, his sister, and his brother died. You said the guy you saw was in his 50s during the 1980s. Kenneth turned 50 in 1982. In 2006, Kenneth was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 74. He died in this house in May of 2006. Matter of fact, his wife, Patricia, also died in this house 9 years later in 2015.
Wow.
I got a photo of Kenneth when he was younger.
Oh,
Is it possible this is the guy you saw?
I did have a sketch done.
Oh, yeah, this is him. You guys tell me.
It's very close, yeah.
Do you think this is the guy you saw?
Yeah.
This is the that hates your kid.
To be so mean to a child, I can't comprehend it. He needs to get the hell out of my house.
So the other person that I'm worried about is a male. He's dressed like a cowboy, but this guy was perfect, clean shaven. I was like, that is weird. And I got that he was around here in the 1840s and the 1850s. I think that he came from somewhere else, like a bar or a saloon. And I think he died there and that he was shot in the head. I really feel that he deserved that and that he should have gone to hell.
Amy, I gotta tell you, a few things you talked about make me think of a guy I came across in my research. Back in 1893, there was a man who was shot and killed at a brothel right down the hill here in Briceville. Now, his name was William Lafferty, and he was 33 years old. Lafferty was a soldier that was stationed at Fort Anderson near here. That might explain the strange outfit you saw. One night, Lafferty and his military friends were partying at the brothel in town trying to pick up women. He and his buddies pissed somebody off, and they had to call the sheriff in to kick him out. The sheriff had a hard time trying to get him out, so a local miner jumped in and things got worse. The miner shot and killed Lafferty. The sheriff let the miner go, but 2 days later, Lafferty's soldier buddies came back and they lynched him.
What?
This is the article on it. Now, could Lafferty, the guy who got shot in the bar, be the man you might have seen?
Yes.
Now, you said you were concerned about this guy. What's the story?
I got that he is an extremely sick individual who prefers young females. He was an extremely sexual person. And I am pretty certain that he's some kind of a pedophile. You might have the feeling of intense fear when he's around. He's a very dark, bad person.